GCSE Warfare Through Time, short revision clips. We're in the 20th century now, and we're talking a lot at the moment about the new developments in science, technology and industry that have led to rapid and significant change in warfare in modern times. And certainly the 20th century has witnessed new technology which has changed weapons, transport and communications. So if we start with weapons, lots of things that have happened, lots of technology that have changed the accuracy, the rate, the range of fire, the manoeuvrability of weapons on the battlefield, largely because of science and technology. You might cite the example of machine guns during the First World War, which could fire 600 bullets a minute. Tanks, first being used at the Battle of the Somme in 1916. Modern tanks used during the Iraq War, such as the Challenger, that can travel at 50 kilometers an hour. You have got the atomic bomb, nuclear weapons, first used on Hiroshima in Japan in 1945. But even then, moving on to atomic weapons being on missiles, missile warheads. So you've got the development of intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, launched from nuclear submarines. Missiles technology is precision guided. You can guide them to your target via radar or GPS, global positioning satellites. Even today, you've got unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, more commonly known as drones, that are used for reconnaissance, surveillance, and also attacks. Modern jet fighter planes use stealth technology to get to their targets without being detected. And when they fire their missiles, they are guided to their target. They are often dropping bombs that are precision, so-called smart bombs. All of this with incredible power and accuracy. But it's not just weaponry that technology has changed. It's also changed the transportation of soldiers and armies. You've got trains being used in the First World War to take men to northern France. You then have the development of motorised road transportation a bit later in the century. And if you take the Iraq War in 2003, 90% of the equipment and supplies needed for that war was transported by ship. Also, science has made a difference in the 20th century to communications. Before 1900, in the field of battle, you would get commanders, soldiers using vocal commands, gestures, signals to each other, flags to make changes on the battlefield. By the time you get to the First World War, you've got cable telephones delivering instructions and communications to the trenches via Morse code and spoken messages. In the 1920s, you have wireless radio available. In the 1930s, we see radar as well, radio detection and ranging, used by the British in World War II to identify attacking aircraft by the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, for air defence. By the time you get to the 1970s, digital technology has moved on into the technology we see today. Computers are used, mobile phones are used on the battlefield. We have the internet, we have GPS. You've got surveillance of enemy forces using this new technology. I suppose that really can be related to the founding of Bletchley Park in England and the code breaking and interception of German messages during the Second World War. And today, modern armies are using cyber warfare on each other to paralyse enemy systems and for disruption. So, in conclusion, in terms of weapons, transport and communications, there has been transformational, significant change in warfare over the last century. A lot of this is due to developments in science and technology, which has been used by governments to revolutionise warfare.